Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. I want to take a moment to thank you for participating. We appreciate your time and the interest, and hope you found the experience valuable. Your presence here is an incentive for us to continue our research. This session is being recorded for those who couldn't join us live, but are interested to see the presentation. Feel free to ask any questions during the presentation via the chat or note them down for our Q&A segment at the end. This webinar will continue our discovery started in our previous webinars for using AI in supporting development activities. In our previous webinars, we looked on how Gen AI can speed up the development process by being able to generate code and being able to generate unit tests and building a chat assistant for OpenEdge. Today, we leverage the knowledge gained and we'll try to discover how useful the AI is in becoming a true assistant for both developers and business users in one of our tools. A short introduction about ourselves. My name is Mihai Nagoe, and I'm Operations Manager within Wayfair. Today I have together with me one of our senior developers, Razvan, who worked on this research project. Razvan, do you want to say a couple of words about yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Razvan Stetsko. I'm a senior software developer at Wayfair. I have 9 years of experience in software development with my main focus on web applications. I'm a part of the team who has developed Wayman and WAI Chat that we are going to show you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Razvan. About Wayfair, we started in 2012, and for over 13 years, we have been providing reliable services and solutions. Our team has grown steadily, and now we have more than 100 skilled professionals. Over the years, we have built strong, long-lasting partnerships, some lasting more than 11 years. Our main technologies are Progress OpenEdge and web technologies. Many of our projects involve migrating old Progress UI to modern web technologies using popular tools like Angular and React. We have experience creating desktop, web, and mobile applications with different frameworks, including low-code and no-code options in various settings. We're located in Cluj-Napoca, the major city in Transylvania, northwest part of Romania. As an interesting fact about Cluj-Napoca, here is where top talent meets youth, and we're proud that one of the students team supported by Wayfair reached the podium at the 2025 First Championship Robotics competition in Houston, Texas, while breaking their own previous record. So congrats to Alphatronic. This is the agenda for today. We'll start with the key concepts behind RAG, retrieval augmented generation, its benefits, and how vector databases support it. Then we'll introduce Wayman, walk through its integrations, and finish with a live demo and Q&A. And because we listen to your feedback, we try to keep the intro session short and focus on the demo part. Before we dive into the technical concepts, I want to quickly set the stage for why we're exploring RAG and building tools like Wayman. In the recent period, there's been a growing interest in making AI more useful in real work environments, and not just generating text, but actually helping with specific contextual tasks. That's where retrieval augmented generation comes in. It allows us to combine the power of large language models with our own internal knowledge. Today's presentation is about how we've started to apply that concept in a practical way in one of our tools used every day by our colleagues. Short recap on RAG. It improves large language models by incorporating information retrieval before generating responses. Unlike traditional LLMs that rely on static training data, RAG pulls relevant text from databases, uploaded documents, or web sources. It makes AI more accurate, current, and trustworthy. A vector database stores, manages, and indexes high-dimensional vector data. We have presented in more details these concepts in our previous webinar, so I invite you to check that one too. What are vectors? We're talking about ordered lists of numbers that represent data in a way machines can understand. They're a special type of tensor used in machine learning to describe and process information. Similar, please check our previous webinar, and there are going to be more details on this topic. Wayman overview. Wayman serves as the single control point for our business operations. It's intuitive, secure, and web-based, designed to eliminate fragmented workflows. Instead of juggling multiple tools or spreadsheets, you can automate and manage everything from one place, whether it's people, projects, finances, or inventory. Plus, its built-in reporting gives you full visibility over all your projects. Wayman brings a complete toolkit for business management. On the HR side, it organizes all employee data, maps skills, provides analytics for better workforce planning. We have the project management features, which cover the full cycle from budgets and invoicing to teams allocations, timesheets, and so on. We have talent management, employee management, but let me show you what we're talking about in a short intro of Wayman. So I have here, this is the Wayman application. This is just a short context about its functionalities before jumping into the Wayman chat. We have a menu with all the different modules that Wayman has available, and we have two views. One is for a project manager, and here we can see employees management, attendance management, things like absences, absence calendar. We can look in a month or week view. I can see which are some of the absences that are for the next period. I can have some reports. I have performance management with skill matrix, performance analysis for our colleagues. Then we have a customers module. Here I can have information about the customers, like general info, contact, address, application users, and so on. Besides this, we have the projects part. Here is where we can organize all the projects linked to different customers. On a project, I can have different information available, like small description, end date, start date, the team who's working on that project, KPIs, and different tasks that are assigned for that project. And also have some reporting, something like work versus planned, billable or non-billable hours that are assigned for that project. I can have something like project absences, where I can see the different holidays which are planned specifically for that project. Overview of the tasks, some reports on the work for monthly report. I have a hours forecast where I can check based on different budgets how a forecast for the end of the year based on the allocations would look like. Recruitment, this is the HR part, open positions, candidates, database. We can have support for tests, inventory management, configuration parts, and on the financial, I have some configuration and invoices. And also I have the developer part where different our registration can be set in the project. I can have one employee on different projects. We can log time, see different descriptions of the time spent on different projects, log the work on a different task, on a different date, of course, regular time registration entry. And of course, we can support the absence requests on this part, and someone can just add a holiday request, let's say from the 6th to 12th. I have the working days calculated automatically, and I can see also the number of remaining paid holidays for this year. So this is just a short introduction on, let's say, Wayman capabilities before jumping into just our subject on integrating AI into this tool. So Wayman Chat. We're getting to our main subject of today's webinar. Wayman Chat is like having a personal assistant for your daily work. You can ask it about anything related to the Wayman application, from step-by-step back office guides and navigation help to understanding user roles and permissions. It covers Wayfair's IT procedures, including password reset, account management, device setup, best practices, and so on. It also helps you find internal documentation and company policies, report bugs, escalate technical issues, get quick answers, and with the latest edition, is transformed to become an executant of different activities. Wayman knowledge sources. Wayman chat isn't just guessing, it's powered by RAG, which means it can search through structured internal knowledge sources before answering. It retrieves relevant information from our internal wiki, including performance framework, IT procedures, Wayfair library, and share ideas. Then feeds that context into the language model. This way, answers are not only conversational, but grounded in up-to-date and verified company documentation. Women Chat, or WAI as we call it, is designed to connect with the tools we already use daily. Right now, it's integrated with Jira for creating tickets and timesheets, with email and Outlook Calendar, adding the ability to create holiday requests directly from the assistant. This is the part that we're going to see in the demo. Looking ahead, we plan to integrate Wayman's database into Wayfair Chat, so WAI can access even more company-specific knowledge, connect with email for reading and summarize messages, sync with Google Calendar. Items like GitLab and Swagger integration are also on the roadmap, but we'll see more in this demo part. Function calling. This is one of the main subjects of the implementation. It gives models access to new functionality and data that they can use to follow instructions and respond to prompts. Function calling, also known as tool calling, provides a powerful and flexible way for OpenAI models to interface with external systems and access data outside their training data. Tool calling is a multi-step conversation between your application and a model via the OpenAI API. The tool calling flow has 5 high-level steps. 1. Make a request to the model with tools it could call. Receive a tool call from the model. Execute code on the application side with input from that tool call. Make a second request to the model with the tool output and receive a final response from the model or more tool calls. Okay, so we're back to our interesting part of the webinar, the demo part. And I will leave the stage to you, Razvan.
Thank you. Let me share my screen first. So the same strategy was presented in previous webinar. We are using here today Pinecone as a vector database to store our knowledge about Wayfair, about how to use Wayman, our internal IT procedure, and many more. So here I have created an index that I'm using locally. We store here the chunks of knowledge that we extracted from our wiki. We can see here that we have a host that we are making a request on this host to extract the chunks. These chunks of information are stored in the cloud in AWS. And now, as we can see here, we have many items with information. If we are trying to check one, we can see that we have some dense values. This is the actual embedding. And we have some metadata that contains a content. This is the actual chunk of information. It's something about Microsoft Teams and Workstation, how to sync them together. And also we have a link here from where this information is coming from. Along with Pinecone, we are using chat completions. And this is an API endpoint that will generate a model response from a list of messages. How these messages look? In the beginning, we have first message is developer message or system, and it contains all the details that we are saying to the assistant how it should behave or how to give us the response. And the next message will be actually the user prompt. In the response, the OpenAI will give us back the response that we will need to prompt it to the user. How these two works together, actually, when the user is asking something on our assistant, we are first getting from Pinecone all the relevant chunks with information, and then along with the messages, we are sending them to the OpenAI, and OpenAI is creating a new formatted message. We can see this in action. I have here women on my local environment. And actually, let's switch to a new fresh page to be able to focus more on the chat. Let's start a new chat here. And we can try first from our search suggestions. We have also this question about how to sync data between Microsoft Teams and Workstation. And if we are accessing this, we will see that this data will be extracted from Pinecone, and the assistant will generate us a new formatted message, easier to read. In a few moments, this should be happening, and as we can see, now we have all the details that we requested, along with a link where we can access to read more about this subject. We can try something else. Let's say, what are the company values? We have some chunks with information about our core company values, and the assistant it's prompting us the message. As we can see here, we have two URLs because this is coming from multiple chunks, probably multiple pages on our wiki. Let's try another one. What is the performance management? Here should be a longer text because it's like 5 or 6 chunks that are being extracted from Pinecone and then prompting us the final result. Okay, and on top of this, these are just a few examples, but we have a lot of knowledge added in Pinecone. And on top of this, we included function calling. This gives model access to new functionality. And how this works, we can see a very simple schema from their website. So we are defining some tools, and along with the messages, let's say here in this example, it has get weather as an internal tool and internal function with the parameter of location, and the user prompt was the weather in Paris. We're sending this together to the model, and the model is coming to us. It's giving us a response telling us that we need to run internally get weather with parameter Paris. This parameter is extracted by the model from the user prompt. Next, we are executing the function internally. We're getting the response, and then with all the prior messages and the response that we got internally, we're sending back to the OpenAI, and OpenAI will generate the final response. It's currently 14 degrees in Paris. We can see this in action. We have integrated in our assistants few tool calls and also some integrations with Jira, with Outlook, but also with Wayman. Let's start a new chat. And the first one is for sending email when the user wants to report an issue. So we can say, for example, I found an issue the time tracking page is not working. In this case, the model should see that we have an internal tool function for directly sending emails to our technical team. So it's just asking us to confirm. Let's say yes. In a few moments, the mail should be sent. We can check. Okay, we already got it. We can check. This is Mailtrap. We're using this internally to test the mail sent, and we can see that we have a new email. And the most important part is the description of the issue that is generated by the model. It's based on the conversation with the user. Also, we're adding here some details about who the user is and a few messages for tracking history. Our next tool function is made on the integration with Jira, and we can create issues in Jira. As we can see, we have here a project. We already have a task from my testings with time tracking, but we will create another one now. Let's say, for example, log this issue in Jira. Oh, okay. Actually, that one was created here by the assistant. An issue was logged in Jira on bug board with medium priority. I thought that is from my previous testing, but not. Has already been logged into Jira. Okay. As we can see, we have this one created here, and with the description and the title generated by the model. Another integration that we have is for importing hours. If I'm going to my time registration, as we can see here, I have no hours logged in this month. So I can say something to the chat like, I want to log my worked hours for this month. In this case, the model should see that we have a tool function for importing hours. But first, what happens here is extracting the data on how to manually log the hours, the data that we have in Pinecone. And after that is asking us if we actually want to import hours. We can do from Jira, from Cloud or Harvest. Let's say just, but first we need some hours in Jira. So we are going to this task again, and let's log here 4 hours, for example. And now we have some hours in Jira for testing, and we can say import from Jira. In a few moments, our internal method of importing hours should be executed, and we have a confirmation message. If we are going back and hit a refresh, we can see that for today, now we have 4 hours imported. And with the description, time tracking page is not working. This is fetched from Jira task. Also, we can see that we have it on project 8 because project 8 is linked with our Jira project. For our next tool function, we have integration with Wayman because the chat is in Wayman, and we can actually create absences requests straight from the chat. As you can see here, I have an absence request already created, but let's say that we want to create another one, and we can say something like create an absence request for tomorrow. I have a doctor appointment. In this case, the model should see again that we have a tool function for this, and is asking us to confirm a few parameters that we set it up in the tool definition. And one parameter is the length, and it's asking us if it's a full day or if it's just for a couple of hours. And another one should be the type of the request. but we specified here that it's a doctor appointment, so it should create a medical leave. But let's just confirm for now that we want a full day. Let's see if it's confirming again about, okay, yeah. So actually it was created as an illness leave or medical leave. And if we hit refresh here, we can see we have a new absence type of medical leave for tomorrow. Another tool function that we have is for canceling absence requests. So we can say something like, oh, actually, the appointment is for Friday. Cancel this one and create another. And in this case, it will be actually called two tool functions, one for canceling the request and one for creating a new one. If we're hitting now refresh, we can see that this one for tomorrow was canceled and a new one was created for Friday. For our next integration, we have with Outlook. And as we can see here, the model already saw that we can create events in the calendar. So it's asking us if we want to book our calendar for tomorrow. Let's just confirm this. And if we're going to our calendar for Friday, we should see in a few moments it should appear a new event created here. But first, as we can see, the session for our for Microsoft login expired, and it's prompting us to do a login on Microsoft. And we are doing this pretty quick. Let me just approve on my phone in a few moments. And now all we need to do is to confirm to the assistant that everything went well. Microsoft login successful. All done. And it should try again to create our event in the calendar. So yes, we have it here. Full day absence for a doctor appointment. We can see it's for Friday, for whole day, as we specified. And the title and the description is generated by the model based on the conversation. We can create not only events to book our calendar, but we can also create meetings with attendees. It can be online or offline meetings. We can say something like, I want an online meeting with George and Mihai. And let's give it a bit of context and a period for tomorrow from 9 to 10 a.m. I should have a typo here. And a bit of context. I need to share some details on a project. Anyway, if we are not sharing the context here, the assistant should ask us to confirm what it should write in the description of the meeting. We're going to do this. Now, if we're going back. Okay, so first thing that happened here is that the assistant does not know exactly which Georgia and Mihai I'm referring to. So in our database, because we have a tool function for checking our employees database, it saw that we have two Mihai, and it's asking us to confirm which one we want. So the one with Mihai Neagoe. For Georgia, it's simple, it's just one, so it's not needed to confirm it. And we can go back. Thank you for clarifying to confirm you want to. It's asking us again to confirm. Yes, everything is correct. Sometimes the assistant wants to confirm, so do not make mistakes if we are not telling exactly what we want. The online meeting for tomorrow has been created. As we can see, a new one appeared here. And it's an online meeting from 9 to 10 a.m. as we specified, with the description and the title generated, and with emails that were fetched from our employees database. This is all from demo part, from visual demo part, and now I will show you a bit of how this was implemented.
Just maybe before going to the code part, if there are any questions on the presentation or things that yeah, we should go into more details. Maybe one of the questions that I saw here was, is it possible to put to leave the message with spelling errors?
Yes, we can write with spelling errors. There is no problem. The assistant should also interpret this and correct it. I'm not sure. For an example, let's take one from suggestion and let's try to add spelling error. Who to request a day off? Maybe this will see that is not a spelling error, but let's see what is happening. The system will still try to understand what we are talking about. So as we can see, it was actually, it knew what we are referring on, and it's giving us the information regarding the spelling that we placed here, misspelling. Or is this, was this the question? Is this a good answer?
Yeah, maybe on the example, if you misspell tomorrow without two M's or something, is it yeah, creating
Yeah, we can do a test like this. Or let's say to create another one, block my calendar for tomorrow from, let's say, 9 to 10 p.m. going to dinner. And we'll need to go back. Just to confirm, you want to block your Outlook calendar September 18th. This is actually tomorrow date from 9 to 10 p.m. for a dinner. Is this correct? Yes. And if we're going back here, we should see a new one for Friday in a few seconds. Your Outlook calendar has been successfully blocked. And yeah, for tomorrow we said, so this for Thursday. So we have a new event here created.
okay. Thank you. Maybe we can go to the code part if there are no questions on the functionality.
Yes, okay. Let's move forward and see a bit of the implementation. So first we have our tool functions declaration. We have here all the tool functions that I presented. Maybe not all, but most of them. We have report bug, log issue in Jira, and so on. Let's see a simple one. Let's see the report bug. We have here actually a name and we have a description. This is very important because this will be associated by the model. The model will first look at the prompt that user added and will check all the descriptions from all our tool function in order to see which one needs to be executed. And also we have some parameters. In our case, for reporting a bug, we need just the description of the issue. We can see also a more complex one for creating Outlook calendar, for example. We have the name, we have the description, and also the parameters. In this case, we have a start and end date. And here we specify to the model that we need the dates in a special format, in an ISO format. And in case we are saying tomorrow, the model will actually convert that into an actual date that will look something like this. On top of that, we have subject, body, attendees, and a Boolean for if it's online meeting or not. And we are specifying also what are the required parameters that we need the model to extract from the conversation, and in this case require this start date, end day, subject and body, because sometimes you just want to create an event for you in the calendar, you don't want any attendees, or you don't care if it's an online, if it's a meeting. And we have here our main function. So everything that comes from the system, from the AI, it's reaching this function in our controller. And here's first thing that we are doing. We are checking if user has permission to access the chat. We are getting the user prompt, and we are creating the system message. For this, we have three big steps. We are embedding the user prompt using OpenAI service. We are querying similar data from Pinecone. And along with that, we are actually building the system message. This contains a base message where we are telling to the assistant what is his responsibilities. That is built to support Wayfair employees, to use internal documentation when it's provided, and to stay professional, concise, and helpful, and so on. On top of that, we are appending here the current date and time, and also the chunks that were found in the Pinecone. And now we have the system message with role system, and the content will be the whole message. And this, we are sending all of these messages to chat completion. We are using here a stream response because we don't want to wait for all the response to be generated. We are just receiving pieces of content from OpenAI, and we are sending to the chat and showing them. And here we are running chat completion with our messages, the user prompt and the system message. We can see, for example, a request. It's actually doing a post to OpenAI URL, chat completions. And in the body, we are saying the model that we are using, in this case, GPT 4.1, if it's a stream response, the messages, and also the tools that I showed you earlier here. We are getting back a result from OpenAI, and we are checking if any tool calls have been, we are checking if we need to execute any tool calls. In the case if the response is true and it contains tool calls, we execute them. And here we are going through each tool calls that the model told us to execute. We're extracting the tool name, tool ID, and arguments. And these are actually the arguments that has been extracted from the user prompt. And we are running our internal functions. In this case, we have functions for reporting a bug, for logging an issue, and so on. And if we are checking a simple one, here we are taking from the model only the description argument. Also, these ones are just internally used by us. And the report bug, for example, it uses a mail service to send an email. And for the parameters, we have user details, we have the description that was generated by the model, and last messages from the chat. In this case, if this has been executed successfully, we are responding with a success true and a message that will be interpreted by OpenAI. In case if this generated an error, the same. We are returning a success false and an error message. And with this, we are sending everything back to the chat, and we are getting back the final response. The issue, the email was successfully sent. And this should be all from me. If you have any other question, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Razvan. Yeah, we're getting back to the Q&A part. Are there any questions? See one question from John. Can you share the implementation of the tool function that calls Jira to create a bug?
Yes, of course. So let me share my screen again.
Maybe a bit of context. John, for the question?
Really just interested to see how it's implemented. The email one was kind of wrapping a function to maybe some hidden logic. So just was curious to maybe see if there's how the API calls are structured, things like that.
Yep.
Yes, of course. So we have here create issue ticket. In Jira, we are calling this with few parameters: the user, the summary that is the summary and the description that are coming from the model. And this is just an implementation using a basic authentication for our employee, and with an API token that we are storing it. And this is just a call to Jira REST API, and here we are having some fields. So in this case, for demo purposes, we have added some preset value like who this task should be assigned to. This is already an ID of a user, and we have here the description. We have some issue type that is also a preset value. Of course, this is for demo purposes, but in case we want to go on production, this will be actually parameters, and the assistant should ask what is the issue type, on what project do you want to add it, who should be the reporter, and so on. But this is just a simple integration with Jira REST API. That we are doing a call, getting all the parameters and doing a call, and that's it. The task is created through the REST API.
Maybe to add to this, we have two different implementations for authentication for Jira and for Outlook. I think maybe Razvan, you can elaborate a bit on that.
Yes. So for demo purposes, for Jira, we used a basic authentication with a token. So this is a static token that you can use all the time. But for Outlook, we used OAuth 2.0, in which case you saw that it was prompting us to actually sign in into our Microsoft account, and it's fetching a token and then getting back the access token and the refresh token. So in this case, of course, for production environment, Jira would be implemented also with OAuth, and the user would actually need to sign in and to provide access for the assistant to create tickets.
Okay, I hope this answered your question, John. I see.
Yes, thank you much.
I see another question. How is security maintained to ensure that no confidential data or intellectual property is exposed? Also, maybe a bit of context here. You're referring to the context that is sent towards the model. Because if that is the case, so the information that is confidential, it's not stored on a public server or public information. All the information, for example, what we have in the internal policies, all this information is stored in a vector database. So it's not part of let's say the information that is exposed outside. What RAC does, it enriches the output of the model. So there is a separation between the model that builds up the response and the data that is confidential and is kept separate in the vector database. I hope this
Yes,
this was the intention of the message.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have an internal knowledge base, I would say, in BookTag, fed by Strapi as the headless CMS. Can WAI integrate with that? along with some PDF documents for source data. So the question here would be if the integration can take information from other knowledge-based sources. And I would say, but maybe Razvan, you can complete on that if you want to use different knowledge sources, then it would be important to define which are these sources. And one way is to add these knowledge sources in a vector database to enhance the RAG, or implement some function calling to get the information from there. With PDF documents, this is an example that we had for ChatOE, is where we loaded all the PDF content into our vector database, and we use it from there. Maybe Razvan, you can elaborate if you can use some documents directly without using a vector database.
You can. The idea is what we are using vector database is to actually extract the relevant data more easily, because if we have like 100 PDFs and if we have a lot of information, we can of course send all the information to the OpenAI and let it think it goes through all the information, but the response will not be that good, because we are giving him a lot of work to do. So somehow we need first to extract just the information that we need, and this is why we use a vector database. But of course you can just, if you have text, you can provide any text that you want to the OpenAI and let him try to solve your question.
I hope this answers your question also. And we have another question. How does the OpenAI service know which tool function needs to be called when responding? It is passed with the config beforehand?
So for this, it come in place the tool function declaration. So we declare the tool function, and for every tool function we have a definition. I can share my screen pretty fast to show again. So we have here the description of the tool function. Create a new event in user's Outlook calendar. And we are sending to the OpenAI all these definitions of the tool function. And the model actually, based on the prompt, is trying to go through all of our tool function and see if one of them applies. If the user is saying something that I want to add an event in my Outlook calendar, the model will see that we have actually a tool function with the description that is regarding Outlook calendar, creating new events, and it will already see that we can do this using tool functions. So basically, this declaration are used by the model to check if it can use some tool functions to do the job.
Okay, so it's important to have the right description for every function implementation for the OpenAI to match the correct function it is to call. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Are there any other questions? Well, if there are no other questions, I do hope this information shared was helpful and addressed some of your questions, of course. There is another question on the chat. Yeah. Can you extend the description of function with variants?
I'm not sure exactly what do you mean by variance?
Patrick, can you extend a bit on the several ways of describing? So put the same function but with different descriptions, something like that.
You can describe the function however you want. The important is it should have the same meaning, but the actual words that you are using to describe it is having the same meaning. It's fine because this is how model works, is based on the logic, on the meaning that that text is representing. So yes, of course, you can describe it however you want, in what language you want. Doesn't really matter.
Maybe to add here a bit, I think it's important that the differentiation between different functions should be made actually. So the description between functions should be relevant. So
Yes.
if you have 2 or 3 functions, then you have to make sure that the description is relevant. So yeah, one prompt would not lead to yeah, the function call that you don't want to. Okay. Is WAI an off-the-shelf product? How is it brought to market? No, WAI is not an off-the-shelf product. It's integrated with Wayman. What we're presenting here is the research we made around how to implement this type of tool in an application. But yeah, if you want to integrate something similar to Wayman Chat, then yeah, first we need to see the application where something similar needs to be built. So I think there is a first step, first assessing the application that you want to build a chat on and what needs to solve, and then an implementation similar to Wayman Chat is going to be needed. I hope this answers your question. Thank you for the question. If there are any questions, I see, yeah, a lot of activity around this. I think, yeah, it's well, it's a research project, and the number of function calls we did was just a representation of what can be done. Of course, we have on the roadmap some other integrations with different other tools, but this is the first, yeah, the first step in proving the concept, more or less. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, and you're interested in incorporating an AI assistant in your projects, or would like to begin exploring this, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're available via email, our website, or social media. We'd be more than happy to assist you. Thank you for attending our webinar. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.
Thank you.